Hey there again, it's October 25th. It's a little after 1 o'clock, it's 1:01, and let's just say a quick prayer. Spirit of woof, be with us, be with me in my communication so I do not stray far into all sorts of unnecessary rabbit holes, but continue on the spiral staircase up to the pearly gates. Okay, usually when you invoke the spirit of woof, usually he doesn't let you down, or she doesn't let you down. So she-wolf, I think, is the main wolf in the hierarchy of wolves. So I was on a bit of a rant outside, and we don't have enough rants. We really don't have enough rants. We have way too many calm people in spirituality. But are you ever asking yourself, where's the anger? Why isn't anybody shouting? I mean, if we have about 150,000 people coming into this world every day, something like that, and a certain percentage of those babies have birth defects, such that every hour there are several hundred babies that probably have birth defects that just came into this world, and some of which are absolutely devastating and horrifying, such that the parents who were expecting to be happy with this child are in utter devastation and confusion. They don't know what type of future they're going to face. If that's just one of the many aspects that I could have chosen, one of the many statistics about this reality. But if that's going on right now, if someone just had a baby and they're born with a horrible birth defect, how in the hell can we justify going on as we have been? How can I think in terms of what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, and what I'm going to do tomorrow, and how I'm going to plan the next several years, college for my son, and all kinds of idiotic kind of ideas like this, when that's happening right now? When someone is getting ready to blow their brains out somewhere right now, and I know it's going to happen in about the next minute, so we're 2 minutes, 18 seconds in, someone's already statistically blown their brains out. Every 40 seconds, so over 3, and now we're getting close to 4. So it's like, how do we continue to justify going on as we are when we know that's going to happen? And you should know that's going to happen. You should have your set of statistics ready so you know that X amount of seconds, another atrocity is going to happen. I know about every minute somebody gets murdered. I don't have them all. I know that there's 1 million Indian girls that are prostitutes right now. And a lot of these guys in business suits go over there and they have sex with them. Guys that look very proper. And they're probably being blackmailed because of it. A lot of them. So how do we continue to go on in this reality when we know these kinds of things are happening? And the answer is we shouldn't, of course. And we should be getting mad, we should be getting outraged that these things are happening right now. And that we are looking at such a dismal future for ourselves, such a meaningless, idiotic future. The one thing that we are seeing now better than ever in 2017, due to the proliferation of the internet and being able to travel very easily to other places, is that we see that the whole world is captive under this condition, and that you cannot escape this condition by going to another place. By going to Hawaii or someplace tropical and warm, or going to an exotic European island or something like that to get away, or going to Bali. It seems to be another popular place for pseudo-spiritual people to go. You can't escape the human condition by going somewhere else in this nightmare. It's all contained in the same thing. And from my perspective, I don't view the universe under the same guidelines as the dominating scientific model. In other words, I do not validate this idea that there's billions and billions of stars out there. What do I think about that? I'll tell you. I think it's a distorted picture of heaven. That's what I think it is. Where I think the stars are much closer to us in heaven reality, and those, what are they called? Not aurora borealises, or, those clouds in those pictures that are lit up real bright, the nebula. That heaven is filled with bright, beautiful colors like that. And the stars are much, much closer, and the planets are much, much closer. And you can go hop from one to the next, as you will. And who are we? We're represented by a star in heaven. It's not where we're stuck, but that's our representation. And that each of us, as a star, has a whole lot of planets, as many planets as we want, to fill up with our own creations. So if you particularly like panda bears, you can have a planet panda. Or maybe you don't like pandas enough to justify having a panda planet, so you have a panda moon orbiting a larger planet dedicated to all your animalian fantasies. And what do I think about animals? Personally, here's what I think. As souls, we have a body, a face that looks very much similar to the way we look here, except it's perfected. So it's absolutely perfect. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is another topic that's interesting that we can go into sometime too, is how when you begin to align with your divine self, your face is actually going to start to reflect that as well. So when you start to see people with really beautiful features, you'll understand that they're more in line with the divine template of themselves. And people that have really good features but do think all kinds of sick, twisted thoughts, in the next lifetime, their face will become really distorted. And you see people that are really angry and have really shitty attitudes all the time, that it starts to distort their facial features. And this becomes more and more evident as they age. But anyhow, animals in heaven are animated by divine consciousness, which is to say that souls, we can inhabit any forms we want, but there's nothing that's stuck in a form in heaven. So for the most part, animals are inhabited by the collective divine consciousness in heaven. So they appear to be real and distinct entities, yet we understand them as existing by the power of the collective consciousness, if that makes sense. There's no form that anything can be stuck in heaven, if you understand what I'm saying. So obviously here, animals and we are all stuck in bodies. We're stuck in forms, but in heaven, that's not the case. Everything is enlivened, activated by the divine energy. So you could actually go into that animal and experience what it's like to be in the spirit of that animal, yet you would not be stuck in the form of that animal the way you are stuck here. So more good news, more of the reality of heaven. But why are we so content to be here? Why are we so content to be here when we know that this is a nightmare, when we have this reality that's waiting for us, that's urgently beckoning us to return? And another false idea of spirituality is that heaven is patient, or that patience is a virtue. When in fact, God is not patient. Heaven is not patient. They're screaming at you, saying, come on, let's go. Got a job to do. You're down there doing a job. And that's what this is. We are doing a job here. And just like you wouldn't want to be stuck at your job eternally here on earth, or for all your days until you finally get to the privilege of dying, you don't want to be stuck in this job forever either. So we have to see this as a job. We have to see this as our purpose. That we came here to get a job done. And that it is work. And that's what this is. So anything you do on top of already committing yourself to come here is just extra pats on the back. You made the big sacrifice already. You took on the job of coming into this. So that is enough. However, simply incarnating is not enough to free humanity from the human condition. You actually have to enact your purpose, and the way you do that is by joining together and supporting one another to be the closest reflection you can be to your heavenly self. What I want to say is that we have to rely on certain things as givens in order to escape this nightmare. we have to understand that the process that we've been through up to this point has been enough. That there is no more that we need to do. There's nothing that we need to add. There's no more layers of ourselves that need to be shed. That we've done the work. We need to have confidence that our work is done. That our path is done. It's over. Our spiritual searching, our endeavors are over. All that personal crap is done. Did I make that clear? I think I made that pretty clear. That segment is over. So if you're still seeing spirituality as personal growth, you're way off. It's not about personal growth. Personal growth in a nightmare? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Doesn't even make any sense. What do you do in a nightmare? You wake the hell up. You know, there's different words we could apply to it. We could say we could exit, we could escape, we could leave, we could wake up. You get the idea. But this basically what we need to do is we need to transform the world back into its heavenly state. Because we're seeing a universe which we're validating, and we're going down all these rabbit holes to prove that all these things exist. And we're validating, we're saying, yes, they do exist because we found it. Well, no shit. You went down that rabbit hole and you found something there. That's going to happen in hell. But if you go down rabbit holes in hell, you're going to find stuff in hell. You're going to find more hellish stuff. Whether it's below the ground or whether it's up in space, there's all kinds of rabbit holes that you can go down, and of course you're always going to find stuff. By your seeking, by your determination to find something. Split open the atom, what do you find? Electrons, and split open the electrons and you find quarks. And then split open the quarks and, I don't know, you find superstrings or something. And then, by then, you're needing 11 dimensions to even explain that. And who the hell can imagine even more than 11 dimensions? Doesn't even make any sense. And this should make sense. Transformation of the world should appeal to our reason. And thus we need to be practical. And we need to look at ourselves in our limited condition, and we need to say, okay, given that I am in a flesh body, what am I capable of doing? And given that heaven is looking down upon us, and I use these terms metaphorically, understand? It's not up there or down there or whatever, but you understand what I'm talking about. Heaven is looking upon us, and it realizes, okay, you're in a limited state. And what are you actually capable of given your limited state? So while we're talking about becoming masters, while we're talking about being great and all these things, heaven is just saying, no, you don't have to do any of that. You've done all your crap. You've done all your spiritual searching. That individual path nonsense is over. And now you should get the basic context, that you're in hell, that you belong in heaven, and that you need to employ the means to get back. Heaven needs you to be able to see that. Without getting the basic context, you're not going to be able to participate in salvation. Ascension, transformation of the world, getting the fuck out of here, synonymous. So heaven needs you to be able to see the basic context. Forgot what I was going to say, so I'm having a drum. Hopefully I'll think of it in a second. Way too far into this video to have to start over. If only I knew how to edit. I don't know if it's going to come to me. I only have another minute, so I'll take a sip of coffee. At least I have Lyme disease. I can just blame it on the Lyme disease. I know! It's your birthday! That's why I have these balloons behind me. That's what I was going to say. No, I'm kidding. That's not what I was going to say. But, come on. Little help down here. I'll get it in the next video, or I'll write a blog. I'm sure we'll cover it. Okay.